Moving on to the next pick, Jordan Elliot. You start this one off.
Big pick. So I didn't, like a lot of these guys, I mean, I'll be fully transparent. I don't do an insane amount of research going past the first round prospects just because, I mean, geez, man, like we'll let the professionals do that. Maybe someday if we're, big shots, we'll have the time, but we ain't got the time for that. So we're just
when there's a budget for Pro Football Focus Plus or whatever it is.
Yeah, so
all the other breakdown stuff.
And the time is the problem. There's so many players, but we're kind of reacting as players are drafted. I'm then with them going back and doing my research. Sure. And with Jordan Elliot, I was kind of blown away that we were able to get him in the third round. It didn't really even make sense to me.
Huge steal. Yeah.
Starting with the Pro Football Focus stuff, he was the 23rd rated player by Pro Football Focus on their big board, 23rd, and we got him in the third round at the 88th overall selection, which is crazy. But even more interestingly, he was the only player in college football who had a 90-plus pass rushing grade and a 90-plus run defense grade. So he was arguably, maybe it was interior lineman. I'm not sure, whatever the exact thing was. But moral of the story is
he was coming off of a 2019 in which he earned grades of 90 or higher as both a run defender and pass rusher.
Yeah, big time, which he was either the only interior defensive lineman or the only defensive player to do that. Regardless, that's amazing. That's what you want out of a player. So, I mean, you could sit here and be nitpicky.
Yeah,
that's the word.
You got it.
Nitpicky about his explosion off the line, or he needs to be a little more violent with his hands, or put on a little more strength. Whatever, I get that. But to get a player out of Auburn in the third round that was rated so highly by not just Pro Football Focus, but in looking into it, there were some other draft analysts who wrote very favorably of him, and to get him in the third round is amazing. And interior depth on the defensive line is so important. As we know, we watched I know the San Francisco 49ers lost the Super Bowl, but they were able to get there by bolstering up their defensive line, and we brought in a guy who was a coach on their defense. So
just a correction, he played for Missouri.
Apologies.
But I think
Missouri and Auburn are both like cats teams. A lot of college football teams are cats.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Some kind.
Yeah, college. What are you going to do?
College, it's weird.
His name's Jordan Elliot. He plays defensive tackle for a team.
That's right.
Now he plays for the Browns.
For the Browns. That's all that matters.
So, yeah.
All right, that was close. But yeah, so I'm stoked on the pick. I think there's a lot of potential there. And it's nice, too, because we don't have to rely on him to be a day one starter. We have two starting defensive tackles with Sheldon Richardson and Ogunjobi. So this guy, and we brought in the other defensive tackle from Cincinnati, whose name I'm drawing a blank on. So we're going to have Jordan Elliott as another rotational piece, and I think that's big.
Yeah, and I think that'll serve well for his development. He has the great combo of like size and athleticism for a defensive tackle. He, like you said, he'll be great against the run. He'll be great as a pass. He has potential to be productive as a pass rusher. So I think a huge steal for the third round. I'm going to give it an A.
Yeah, I'll give it an A as well. I mean, to me, based on, we could get into who was available at that time and stuff like that, but to me, that's kind of like the no-brainer pick. I mean, that's what a lot of these picks look like, where it's like, well, yeah, duh, that's
what they should do. Yeah,
that's what you should pick.
He's there, grab him.
Great, do it. Yeah.